is this thing on? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Bitcoin getting a massive little bit of a dump here. Massive little bit of a dump. That's interesting. But Bitcoin getting a bit of a dump here. 79,700. Is this sustainable? What is happening? Can we get the music back here? As soon as we can, we will. We're going to get running, which I'm excited about, actually. I love the music here. Thank you to Paul. We have a new guy in the studio. Paul, thank you so much, everyone. Paul is in the studio today doing the music. We really appreciate it, Paul. He's just a little new. Let him get used to what's going on here in the studio. Paul, thank you so much. Nice to have you. Thank you. There's nobody here named Paul. I'm alone. I'm just drawing, playing games. Yeah. That's even worse. Anyway, let's move on from my insane antics and let's talk about what's happening here for BTC. Shout out to everyone here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in as we get in. The days go up, the days go down. BTC comes through no matter what. Let's see what's happening here. We see this bit of a bear flag on the 1 minute to me. Came back down. Can we get a bounce? Only time will tell. It looks bearish to me. Looks like the bigger time frames have spoken. I see something a little bearish here. A bit of an Adam and Eve on the 4-hour time frame. And that looks like we may be coming all the way back down there. Yikes. To about, 77,400 for BTC. So, I don't know. Doesn't look amazing, but we'll see. I was expecting a dump, but with a slight bounce. We haven't got the bounce just yet. We'll see. We might. Only time will tell. I'm going to have a ginger shot, a turmeric shot. You know what I mean? These two things, I'm telling you, I've been doing turmeric and ginger for months now. And no matter what's happening, I've been staying even keel. And I don't want to jinx it, even with traveling. So far, so good. A lot of red meat, too. And I haven't gotten, haven't eaten any junk, man. Just red meat. A couple things here and there, like some bisque. Shoulder, head, and right shoulder there on the 1 minute time frame suggests we could get a possible bounce back to the upside, but we are far from that 21 on the 1 minute. When we lost the 1 minute at 5:30 in the morning, 6:30 right there, Eastern Daylight Savings Time, we started to drop. We kind of made a bit of a flag here, dropped again. You can see shoulder, kind of head, right shoulder. To me, there's your descending triangle, which we know like to drop straight. Come back up for some air, straight down. Bit of an inverted head and shoulder that never came to fruition. Rolled over to a shoulder, kind of head, little shoulder there. And kind of here we are, digging for straws again. Attempting some type of move back to the upside. To me, it's a bit of an ascending triangle, which I what I learned I learned so much in trading. One day I saw an inverted head and shoulder, and I realized it just was, that's what an ascending triangle is. Both ways, too. You'll see almost 90% of the time, if not every time, you're going to see some type of inverted inside of the ascending triangle. Can we break out all the way back to the upside? Can this become some type of bounce? Lately, the divergences, have been given us a bounce, but they haven't given us like a really strong foundational move, right? Like we had divergence yesterday, 2 days before. Wasn't amazing. It gave us a bounce, but something like this, there's a good kind of a bull div. See how this swings up, swings down? All it does, and what I've learned about divergence is it's strong, but it only gives you up to the next resistance. That's all you get. It's not like you're guaranteed this massive reversal. You're guaranteed a bounce, but you must know your support or resistance. Like every time I'm on the 1 minute and I see that we have a key level that we've bounced, that's now you have to get back above that. Same thing here now. To remain bullish, we got to break back above 79. Otherwise, this is likely going to go lower. And once you're in this kind of dump situation, you have to assume, this is going to dump down to 79,000. It's just how it is. Even if you wanted to pump, you got to assume that you're in this downtrend that will continue. So that's the only way to do it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. All right. Now, I didn't call a short, but I wasn't in any massive longs. You know, I was looking for the 4 hour to do so. I'll show you what I was looking for. It did not happen. That's why I always watch consolidation. That's what, to me, consolidation is key. And what does that mean? It means waiting for the price action to show its cards, right? I was looking for a bounce here off this bottom trend line, which we kind of, I got it. I thought we were, I wanted it here. We got it a little later. Then we kind of hung out inside. I felt like, okay, we're back in. We can bounce here. And I was playing it more on the 4 hour. Let me show you like this. And I wasn't in a huge long just yet. I had projected what I wanted to see, though. Right? So what I wanted to see was, and this, again, this hasn't happened yet, right? We were somewhere up in here. I wanted to see this kind of go up, come down. And then around here, I wanted to take a long. Like if that's, you know what I mean? Hold this in, hold it in there. Everything started to look pretty nice. Now I kind of see, it does look like a bit of an Adam and Eve that could dump to the 200 moving average. Once you start this move below the 21 and start to kind of use the 21 on the way up, mingle, you should continue. You choose the other way, it's usually the 200 moving average that you're coming to. And we got a big block here waiting. So, I like what I'm seeing. It's not the worst thing in the world. I did, the only thing is I didn't take advantage of a big short. But that's, to me, I'm pretty happy because I'm not giving back any gains that I've made on the way up here. And, this could be the end of the bigger trend. And that's what we want to talk about today. Is it the end of the bigger trend? Is it time, is it going to be turned into chomp? Or is this just a kind of up and down price action? And are we going to reclaim this area? And are we still hot? Are we still hot to 96,000? That, to me, is the bigger question. More than just what, day to day. Are we hot to $96,000? Is it possible? Or is this it? Do we have to start shorting the market on the way down? That, to me, that's kind of the bigger question. Shout out to all the beautiful people here. Shout out to Tall Man Todd BTC. Add both the short and long centralized exchanges, casino money, the casino mechanics are trading game. Interesting. Shout out to Beats. Big Chin. Shout out to Underground Cryptos. Shout out to Jordan Marshall. Shout out to Dan Webb D. Okay. So to me, looks a bit like an Adam and Eve double top. And wants to dump down into this liquidity zone. We have a block right there, a block right here. That's the sloppy version. We'll get into the neater version, but, So, yeah, it doesn't look amazing. We were looking for this trend line to hold up until just like 4 hours ago. Get a bounce, get real tight. Watch price action, have some fun here. You never know. This could wick all the way back inside. Get tight. Now, the big deal to me is stock market was overheated. Like, I had never seen it run the way it did, like, in a straight line. It was just like, that has to come. I kept saying that has to come down. And then we get some, nasty data here. Core PPI, 1% when it was forecasted at 0.3. Previous is 0.2. Double the PPI month over month. And so, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now we got the move into the Fed chair coming, and then core retail sales tomorrow and unemployment claims. Right? And then we had core CPI yesterday, which was not great at all, right? So pounded by some bad data, market's not reacting well. Let's take a look at the S&P futures and see what's happening to the S&P. Nice little recovery after a bit of a dump, but we're watching the small time frames. Let's take a look at the daily here. I think I found a coin played. It seems like it's holding off. Can you check out? I don't think so. Thank you, though. Oh, it's crypto cash? Okay, maybe, yeah. That's different. It's you. Crypto cash is different. But I'd like to check it out on my own first, just before. Let me see here. I'll bring it up to deck screener on a side note. But yeah, just be careful with the. We don't want to encourage that. A very small market cap. I don't know. I'm looking at it myself. I'll see if it's, Thank you, Cash. We appreciate you, bro. So, S&P future on the daily actually still doesn't look bad. It's interesting. Still looks like it still looks strong. So, the bad data didn't do much to the S&P. For whatever reason, it's worse on the risk on asset, and I don't blame the Bitcoin dump on it. Bitcoin was starting to look a little a little weaker than, it needed to consolidate, in my humble opinion, which, wasn't on a tear anymore. And it tapped the daily 200 moving average, which to me is a place for some good profit taking, right? I'm not in any massive longs. I didn't go into any longs and go hard. So, So anyway, we're going to take a look, and there still might be a beautiful opportunity today. There almost always is. If I tell myself there's going to be a great trade, I can find one. Unless, you don't want to there's going to be a great trade Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time, when there's no volume, But you know what I'm saying. You project the best opportunities will find you over the week, and that you'll take them when they do present themselves. You don't got to force trades. Forcing trades usually costs money. A lot more money than you would like. So, you'd have to assume that we're just going to stay side. A lot of people in my life have said, Sam, how are you able to stay, even my friend traders, like, how are you able to stay in trades when it gets overheated? I'll start shorting and I see you're able to kind of, and I say, well, I'm overly optimistic on once we get into an uptrend, number one. And I'm also, I just stick to flags until they tell me they're not going to happen. Once one doesn't happen, bang, we'll get like ahead, because either what I see a lot is either this will consolidate for the next few days and we'll get a move, or you get this kind of head and shoulder pattern that's going to take you, you know what I mean? So like the patterns will tell you what's going to happen. The people that don't believe in patterns can't see it because they, once in a while, those don't work. Those funny pattern people, you know what I mean? But once you kind of like get into it and believe it for what it is, for sure, you start to see things that other people just can't see. So yeah, there's a chance this goes beautifully sideways and we continue to break out here to the upside. There's a chance that it doesn't. It comes back down and does one of these and we have a pretty nice pullback. We'll watch the price action and it'll tell us. And like you short the shoulder or you long maybe the consolidation. So most of my life is setting a consolidative trap, basically. Setting price action up for consolidation. And, fine, doesn't do it. But, let's just say you set 100 of these and let's just say just 10 of them go exactly the way they're supposed to. And then you take the trade. And then even some of them don't, could still not make it happen, right? Nothing's guaranteed, but the odds are getting closer and closer that I trade right here. So my system is based off me trading right here on any asset I can find. I think it's pretty simple, right? Makes sense to me. Find the most high probability area to take advantage of any asset and go for it. And just be really consistent about it. Go at it. Don't fade. Interesting to see that the stock market is looking pretty robust right now. I have to be honest. It looked a little like it was going to be a little rusty yesterday, but even here on the smaller time frame, we could suggest that it's just business as usual for, and it might even just make an ascending triangle here and just get busy. If it can stay above this 200 moving average and still, this is what it's all about. So, SHME PI, PPI, S&P don't care. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. Same issue, I guess. People just want more. They want more AI stocks. They want more. This is getting crazy. And you have to think too, I guess, stock market's already heated, but you gotta buy it up when you're getting a pro, Kevin Warsh, you're getting Kevin Warsh in there. So to me, it's just, there's front running, right? I mean, why wouldn't you, but that looks like sideways action and continuation to me. And I know I'm like the continuation guy, but I mean, yeah, I've been calling these longs when it doesn't look likely. Because even my mind's like, that's not likely, but that's what the technical analysis tells me will happen until it doesn't. So, yeah, I will call longs until we eventually probably, hit some type of, but that tells me we're going up to 30,000. That's a big move there for the NASDAQ. So, hey, let's get back into to beat. So Bitcoin's doing its own little thing here today. It is what it is. Let's see how sustainable it is. Let's get back to the bigger time frame, right? So I've talked about how the monthly to me has never done a fake out, but that doesn't mean it can't be making a shoulder, a head, and a possible right shoulder right here. And the crazy thing is, if it really did that, the measured move is like 20,000. Some crazy low number. It's not just like, because this would be the measured move and it would be pretty crazy. So, but hey, I mean, anything is possible when you're dealing with a experimental asset that no one's ever seen before, right? So, I mean, if that were to happen and I had to take a long, I have to say, hey, I took a shot at something different. Thank God that I diversified, but I believe in Bitcoin in the long term, and I just unlikely, but you never, I'm also open-minded to say you never know, because in my career as a trader / long-term investor, swing trader, yearly holder, there's been times where I was like, oh, that will never happen. This price will never happen. And then it's happened. And I've been like, wow, that's interesting. So I've learned my lessons. I've taken my lumps, and I've just gotten into the understanding that, markets are harsh. They don't care about you. I used to think, oh, like, I have good intentions and the market knows, you know what I mean? It's like this idea that like, you're going to make it because you've been a good guy, No. The market likes to eat up good guys, shred people to pieces. Like, doesn't matter how good you've been, doesn't matter what you've been given, but I just gave to so many people my trades, Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter your will, At one point, you do have to manifest high energy and high frequency, and, your portfolio should follow that behavior because you're on this uptrend in your mind and nothing else should get in the way. But trading will chew most people up because it will teach them that they have no discipline. Sometimes just waiting and doing nothing is great. Like, we've been on a massive uptrend. I made thousands of dollars. I could take chunks of that money and throw it back at the market right now. Or I could just sit and wait for my perfect entries or better ideas. Yeah, I was like, dang, I could have shorted that top at the daily 200 moving average, Actually a good place to take, because you have very low list to hit that area. Flip it on anyway, it's all good. The word should be erased because it takes away gratitude. I'm always grateful for the time that we have right now. So the monthly still looks bullish to me. That's all I'm trying to say, or all I am going to say. Only thing is not a huge wick there, right? A little bit. It's sticking out. It's a tiny little one. So it's... But it's, so we'll see what happens here. That if that holds, if that ends up holding, but I like what I'm seeing there on the monthly chart so far. Same with the 2-week, and we talked about how 5 days of bearishness would be great. Not a problem. Same thing here happened when everyone got kind of real bearish. It looked like it wasn't going to happen, but we came up on top. We'll see. We will see. Nothing's guaranteed. Could this be something bigger? You never know. We're getting a little more overbought on the weekly as well. So, Beautiful double bottom that played out. Technically, to me, that's the measured move, and we broke above the first resistance, which is like all you can ask for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. Even the red candle was basically a bullish candle in general. It looked like it's a bullish pin bar. Very close to flipping green by like pennies, or maybe $100 or something. So, but this candle closes red. I gotta say that's pretty bearish. Would you say we're still inside of a bear flag? I mean, you could possibly say it's a rising wedge to me, and rising wedges can break down 68% of the time back to where they began, and that would take you back to 65,000, at least to this resistance here on the weekly at 72. I wouldn't get too bearish until the weekly candle closes below 72,600, 72.5. But hey, if that happened, I would, you'd have to say that's a failed rally. And could it be a failed rally? It could be. I'm open-minded. You know what I'm saying? I bought a lot of Bitcoin. The fear and greed index was high. I'll tell you what, it was at a 5. But it would be nice to see it come back into the shaded region again for a little bit of a pullback. Kind of scare everybody off a little bit. Everyone's a little too bullish. 5-day, that's a bearish engulfing candle. Not really not amazing, gotta say, right? And that closes as such. You gotta take that as somewhat bearish. Reading candle bodies recently has been really a forte of mine, and I've done more of it than ever. I don't know if you guys noticed on the channel. I've always done analysis, but candle bodies has been like my bread and butter. Has really shown, and it's shown to be so accurate, especially on the bigger time frames. So I'm listening. Like right here, I mean, you did get a technical tweezer top there. We've been bearish ever since in this 3-day. Technically, the 3-day, it feels to me like it's breaching the trend line here. And, I'll bring this up. I mean, you could say, oh, well, we have some support and resistance right there. High volume node, we do. 77,000. But the 3-day is, and it's got bearish div on the indicator. It's looking weak, right? And, you could make like a giant head and shoulder and then end up somewhere down there. Sweep these lows. A lot of people think they got the bottom for sure. I don't know. I'm under that fence that always says, hey, to me, I felt like there was a 90% chance that this was a big bottom. Maybe we just come like this and we do, maybe we don't bottom out. We pull the Fibonacci here. You see this area, 71,000. It's the 618, 786 to 68 maybe. We could wick down there. Get a bounce, right? Just kind of sweep these lows area, the lows in that area, take out some longs. People that think they caught the exact bottom yet again, you never know. Only time will tell, as far as I'm concerned. But it's definitely, I'm bullish until things don't, until things don't start, basically fulfilling the prophecy, right? Definitely a bear div there on the daily. Technically it's supposed to kind of, but I was looking for the bounce. I was looking for something like this. Get the bounce, consolidate, and then there's where I was looking for a beautiful trade. We didn't lose previous resistance as support. There's a chance we still get the bounce here, see? And I know I'm being really stubborn about this stuff. And the only thing about my stubbornness is I think like 8 out of 10 times I get the bounce. A couple other times I might miss a good time to short too, so there's some weakness to that. The ginger. Oh, the ginger squeal. Oh, man. Squeal, I don't know what it is, but the ginger wiggle. Wow. Just kind of gets you right there in the core. Okay, so sounds like queso whenever I say that and I think of cheese. Don't think of cheese. You're better than that. No, so look, let's take a look. Bitcoin. Can it, is today going to kind of end up just kind of hovering in this area? Is this kind of the end of the dump? A lot of times, like, the bigger move ends around 10, 11 o'clock, for whatever reason. To me, I mean, it's about this 4-hour time frame, and, look, resistance, bounce. Are you coming for a double bottom? Do you really, just really testing this level one more time just to make sure? To me, it has Adam and Eve double top vibes. When I've seen this, at least we come and test the 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame. It's been a nice ride since we've crossed the 200. And that's what's kept me bullish, right? We cross the 200, you get this beautiful move. We've been on an uptrend. We've taken so many of these moves this whole way. It's been a great run. And there's a chance it's not over, right? We got to stay open-minded here. A lot of people are going to get overly bearish. A lot of people are going to get overly bullish. They're going to go all in right now and get wrecked. They say, I got the bottom for sure. It's definitely a bounce off previous resistance. I'm all in. Some people are going to be right. They're going to hit it. Other people are going to say, oh, I'm going to double down on my short right now. This is a perfect time. It's definitely going down. And they may win. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going to happen. I don't claim to. I look at bigger picture and I do say, hey, this looks more like a bottom than a top. And I look at areas where I believe there's a best place for me personally to buy Bitcoin spot. And to me, I think that's the forte. It's just to buy more Bitcoin when the price action is in heavy fear. And if I do that more than I don't, and I look back in 15 years, I should be in a good spot. And I know that may sound corny to a lot of people, but it's also discipline. And it's just kind of what has to happen, right, over time. Because I'm not in it just to win it for the day. I'm in it to win it for a long period of time. All right. Shout out to my awesome people here. God bless everyone here on the channel. Thank you for jumping on in. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Jim Rome, thank you. Sammy, your channel's number one. Thank you, man. That's nice for you to say. There's no magic wand that can resolve our problems. The solution rests with our work and discipline. Thank you so much. Yeah, 3 black crows on the daily. No. Hello, that's like creepy, right? Yep. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment, 100%. Hey, Sam, can you please explain how to use I don't know. We're going up for another 5 weeks. I mean, that sounds beautiful. I'd love to be able to say that and just walk, hey, we're going up, everybody. I'll see you next week. You know what I mean? So it sounds so beautiful, right? Right. And thank you guys. Appreciate it. A little bit of a bombardment there. Hey, I'll watch it. Maybe it does go, but a very small market cap, 549K. I mean, yeah, it's okay. So what you're looking for again, a tweezer bottom, a green candle next to a red one, no matter how, scanty it is. To me, I've heard, like, even this one wasn't amazing, but you got in there on that low. I mean, you took this for a beautiful run, right? And we had to remember we were calling for this bounce, and then we knew there was going to be some pullback. And we called this little bounce here. Wanted to see it continue, right? I was looking for this trend line to hold. And we kind of start, this morning we started to dump. I will tell you though, dumps begin on the 1 minute. And I've been teaching my students, and this is hard for people to grasp, and it hurts the head. But like, it all started here when you lost the 1 minute 200 moving average, right? You can see, and we're still battling the ability to get back above it. We're kind of in this choppy area, not doing too good. So if we get a bounce, you got to look for the green candle next to a red one. As corny as that sounds, it's that simple. It's that simple. I know people don't believe me, but it is that simple. One, and then taking a shot. If I took a shot every time I saw that, good win rate. Now, if you don't do it all the time, it kind of like, that's the thing about trading. There has to be some consistency to what you do. Otherwise, there's going to be no way to show and prove what you do. You know what I mean? I had to learn this the hard way too. When I started trading, I watched like the price action, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that. And then I learned one day, I was like, oh gosh, I'm going to have to spend a lot of time back testing every single thing here and really fine tuning it. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to do this. And I'll be honest, I got quote unquote scared. You know, I used to live in fear back then instead of living in action. And I was like, wow. And I have to be honest, I got like a head rush sitting at my desk. And I was like, wow. And I realized what traders did to make it. And I was like, I don't have it in me, man. I'm not doing that. I realized it was going to be a lot, like years of hard work, a lot of back test. Like it hit me what I was going to have to do. And I must have had a talk with myself subconscious at one point. And I never remember having it, personally. And I must have just said, hey, I'm going to do this no matter what. Right. And I stuck to it until I started to see things and gain an edge from it. But it took me a long time. I was very stubborn. So when I see my stubborn students or people that take a long time to get into certain, or, really fight the system or fight the way, they kind of blame everything else. It's not me. It's the charts. The market maker got me again. They're stop hunting. It's all manipulation. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Like, think about it. 5 years go by. A guy loses every year. And he's like, at the end of the 5 years, it's all manipulation. You know what I mean? What about a guy after 2 years? It's manipulation. One time he's like, maybe it's me. And the guy that starts blaming himself, what if after 3 years, they both trade the same market? Same quote unquote manipulation, same ups and downs, same issues. But the one guy is more profitable than the other. And you know what? The one reason is he doesn't blame the market. Like, he blames himself when he loses. You know what I mean? He has the discipline to say, hey, I'm in charge. The biggest thing about blaming yourself when you lose is you can blame yourself when you win. As funny as that sounds, when you're BSing yourself all the time, you can't even say, hey, look what I did. What a great win. There's no reward system there. But when you're doing the right thing, when you're staying disciplined, and then you hit your trades, you have to say, hey, I stuck to the system. I won my trades. There's a reward system there. You go out to dinner or you do something, for your, you say you win a big trade. I win $3,000-$4,000 trade. Yeah, I can buy maybe $100 worth of cigars, $200 worth of cigar. Maybe I can smoke a cigar that night and relax, or whatever it is. Maybe it's not. I know some people say, oh, that's so cliche. You don't need that garbage. Whatever, so whatever. I don't want to make it, maybe it's I would go fishing and I get an extra bait that I usually don't get to buy. Like, whatever it is that you treat yourself to. But to me, that's the point of trading, is when there's a reward system. And there's really no reward system until you have a system in place that you use daily. Right? Oh, I got a reward system. I just aped in again for the 100th time. But this time, it if I just hit big, it'll pay for all those other losses. All that stuff is crazy, man. I see way too much. No risk management, right? So this is a known Adam and Eve double top to me that does look bearish. And I wouldn't be surprised if this thing starts to dump. Personally, it lost the trend line and, doesn't look amazingly bullish if I had to put my finger on it right now. Still bullish, crypto lifer. Honestly, I'm always open-minded to what the charts are telling me. And right now, look, you do have to break through this resistance that is support. We're kind of right on it right now. That's why there's a battle for price action. 1 hour's oversold, attempting to curve back on the stochastics RSI, but we've done this before and we made a lower high. So you would assume you got two choices here. You make a pretty sharp V-shaped recovery back up in here. Turns into a wick on the bigger time frame, or you hang out. Just like a bull flag, we wait for the 21 to kind of come into price action. It's a big pump. We're pretty far away from the 21. It could extend a little more, but by any means a little more, maybe up into here, At one point, it's going to have to consolidate. Nothing goes down forever. Nothing goes up forever. That's one of the bigger dumps I've seen in a while. 1, 2, 3, 4 hour, just, go grab that liquidity, right? So to me, like, nothing needs to be done right away. unless someone thinks they called the bottom here. They want to get this, you know, it's attempting a tweezer bottom right now on the 1 hour time frame, but it's fighting. It's fighting. Yeah, that could be a front run. You know, I've done it before where you front run that move. Considering the CPI and the data, you know, like you look at the 5 minute time frame, and to me, I just see we have another descending triangle here. You know what's supposed to happen in your shoulder? You're gonna, you know, this is supposed to be like a shoulder ahead and a right shoulder. You reverse. You see, that's like, to me, just kind of wants to roll over. I mean, you need a double bottom now in the 5 minute time frame. Just for now, it does look like 78,500 could be a level. So, and there was some pockets on the Fibonacci on the daily time frame that looked that like this was a good area to look at. We took this impulse. You can see right even here, you know, 77.8. Just, you know, it looks, you know, a bounce off here or a dump. Again, I'm more, you know, once this pattern starts to break, it's, you know, 75,000 starts to look pretty nice. Get back to that 5 minute. I don't want to, you know. So for me, I'm like, okay, I'll take a short on the 1 hour time frame if we make a flag in the next 5 to 6 hours. To me, that's been I've been finding the 1 to 4 hour have been more profitable, except at certain time frames. You know, at certain times during the day, you know. Like I do like the smaller time frames when I'm, you know, ripping out here. You could say, okay, can you get this cup and handle? Can we get this reversal? And to me, that's, you know, I used to kind of juggle with what happened exactly and is the support going to hold? Because, yeah, I'm not a magician and I show my vulnerability here. I don't know what's going to happen. A lot of people say, look at this guy. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know how I pull off the things that I've pulled off in the past. I owe it all to God. Some days I end the stream and I say, how did I hit that long? Like 2 days ago, how did I hit that long on the 1 minute? How? I don't, you know. I just stick to it. I stick to a system, and the system pays me over time. That's all. I've learned that nobody knows how to win for sure, because all of our humans are moving through space and time, just like the Earth. You know, it's all changing. Everything is changing, so including our cellular structure. So if everything's always moving, you know, how do you stay consistent by just showing up, doing the same thing every day, and then you find out, you look back over time and say, wow, I've been consistent. It happens by doing it. Like, because you keep doing it, you make it, you know, it's almost like the wake of a boat. The boat keeps moving. You can see that path when you look back on where you've been. But if you stop moving, there's no path, right? There's nothing. And somehow I learned, I'm like, okay, so that's how successful people, they find a goal, they keep pushing for that goal until they hit a goal. Then they find another goal and they keep pushing until they solve that goal. And usually if the goal is big enough, it can encompass, you know, everything in there. Like, for instance, you could be a farmer, say, I'm going to have the best crop this year ever. And that goal might mean you have to wake up earlier than most people. You have to grind a little harder. You have to trim a little more. You have to do something a little extra to your crop to make it just a little that much better. And it might just take a little more than the average person can handle. But that gives you the edge, right? In trading, it's about people too in different time frames too. Like, you know, they might have to wake up or do different things. It's tough. Trading is not easy. The time frames, the areas, you know. So too, like what you could be seeing here is like, you know, could become like a massive just head and shoulder pat, you know, what we call a complex head and shoulder. You've got to break this high and get above it here. That level is going to be about 79.8. You got to get back above 79.8 to remain bullish. And Marcus always giving almost every single time with the memberships. Thank you. God bless you, Marcus. Appreciate you. And yeah, I'm just not diving into a trade right now at the present moment. I don't see the amazing opportunity for it at the right now, or the high, the high probability move. I'm eyeing that 1 hour though. I'd like to see it turn green. It's getting close. In 5 minutes, we could have our first possible reversal, and you can see that the smaller time frames are attempting to dig in here, but not amazing. Not amazing. If anything, I'm starting to think about a hedge short on the 4-hour time frame, but it would have been more opportune when I was closer. Trader instinct tells me just to, wait it out here. Doesn't look amazing on the 1 minute though. Right? Sorry, and here are my drawings. I'm just, I drew out what looks to me like what could become a complex head and shoulder pattern. Right? Just, if we can't continue the move back to the upside. Has some cup and handle vibes, attempting to break out. Resistance got above that. Can you, showing some signs of possibly quote unquote digging out. But, could you say, okay, it's a double bottom per se? Still looks pretty sketchy to me right now on the smaller time frame. Sammy, can you look at lab, please? Yeah, I'll take a look at lab for a split second. This thing has a pretty nice use case. Wow, it's funny. I was looking at it and saying, hey, I think this thing can moon. I saw it in this tight price action here at 271, looking like it could go all the way up to 616. And look, it did. It went all the way up to 640. Lab continues to rip. Shout out to anyone that jumped into lab, and I found it here, saw it rip, saw it consolidate, but then started saying, hey, I think we should put this on the radar. This is interesting. And yeah, I'm always looking for all sorts of different interesting stuff, right? Funny lab, man. Lab. It actually comes up too now whenever I'm opening up Deck Screener, or, you know what I mean? It pops up, and it looks like a great use case as well. It has really good utility as far as I'm concerned. And I can see why, man. It was just at 59 cents, and the thing is at $6.41. I was looking for it to break out somewhere there at about 270, and boy, did it ever. Lab, man. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. What I have to do now is you get rid of everything, right? And again, very small coin, very volatile. New to the game, you have to know it's also got, with a grain of salt, anything could happen there, right? It's really, really high risk at this point. For me, it's like moonbag style, like you put in what, if you rode it up this high. But I mean, look at the move it's been on the 4-hour time frame. For me, it just made this really nice channel. It's now breaking out. That to me suggests that it's on the way. It's on the way up. So there's a breakout there. I wouldn't think about this, even though it does, you're like, huh, what is that? You just you got to put that out of your mind. So the bigger time frames look like they could continue. Couple things here that could happen. I mean, are you making a rising wedge that just breaks out? It's high risk to chase, but it does have the liquidity, and it does have volume, and it has utility. I believe people are using it because they want to use it. And that's what happens. People think, oh, it's up because everyone's trading it because So people will like something, will have utility, they'll start to buy it, right? That buy pressure will create, the price to start to rise. Then it will be, the exchanges will say, hey, trade this, it's hot because it has, volume. Then more people will trade it and see it'll create its own little fire. And that fire will continue to burn. And then if it has utility, it keeps going up on the back end just because there's some people that don't even know how to trade, don't care, have no idea what a listing, they don't know any of that stuff. It doesn't matter to them at all. They're just using the protocol, right? When you have those two things combined, I mean, it's beautiful because you have you have a real use case behind the volume, and then you have the volume too. That's always obviously going to be created just by the traders alone, and they can tic-tac off of each other. Lab seems to have that right now. Lab, yeah, and it's interesting. Check it out. I researched it. It to me, you can find out what it is and really get it, figure it out. I'll be nice enough to give you a little bit of a deep dive here. And I know I'm not paid by Lab. I don't know anything about the team. But a 2.7, almost a $2 billion market cap. And it came out of nowhere. It was, a couple $100 million market cap. $6.42. It's everywhere. Bing X, BitGate, Mexi, KuCoin, you name it. And it's a multi-chain trading infrastructure for spot limits and perps with an AI research engine delivering high performance execution and actionable strategies. Now, I haven't used it. I attempted to click on it one day, but I didn't get to using it. But I've been watching what it is, and I like it. And I did sign up. I clicked in, and I looked at the website, and I looked at its, what it is, and I like it. I like it. And there's a browser extension as well that you can throw right in there and just start going right away. Anyway, so to me, smart, interesting concept, has a use case. It's definitely worth paying attention to. Bitcoin on the 1 hour did close a green candle, started to rip back to the upside, possibly for a reversal. And this thing could go all the way back up, or it might just go sideways. Back to the 21 is what's likely going to happen here. Good morning, Sam and Game Wisdom. I've learned that fear is a currency of the enemy, and once you overcome fear, you leave the enemy bankrupt. 100%. There's no such thing as fear. You always have to say that great things are coming. I'm full of opportunity and love does not have fear in its heart. You can't have both things. You can't have love and fear at the same time. So either you believe that great things are happening to you and that you're in love with life and you're in love with opportunity, or you live in fear. And you start giving into the fact that your life isn't going to go anywhere, that bad things are happening, and you kind of lean into the negativity. You could lean into either one. I've learned I used to lean into negativity. I looked where my life went. I've leaned into positivity, and I've seen where my life was. I'll choose the latter every single time. Okay? And it's not easy sometimes. And I learned that that's the battle in life. The battle in life the whole time was through me. And it's through you. It's through, your battle is through you. Meaning, if you conquer thyself, you conquer the world. Which is crazy, but it's I believe Bruce Lee was saying these types of things, right? And everyone, the philosophers, the Greek philosophers, everybody, it's all inside. It was all inside the whole time, right? The kingdom is from within. That's another, it's the Bible, right? So great things are coming. Stay consistent and humble, 100%. God bless. It's you against you, yeah. Yeah, once you realize that you are your own worst enemy or your best friend, things start to make a lot more sense. Because then you can really truly begin to help yourself by manifesting your mind into the thoughts that you're looking for. How do you do that too? Well, you listen to things in your sleep that are positive. If you're having a problem being positive or grateful, then listen to grateful and gratitude when you're in a subconscious state about to go to bed. and, you know, brainwash your brain into being grateful. Like, you know, listen to the videos every single night for 7 nights straight until one morning you wake up and you're just like, oh, I have gratitude for, and you're like, you know, just force it on yourself. It's funny, but like sometimes that's what the human body means. You know, they forced it on us for other things. So you want to see if we can kind of dig our way out of this, or are we just kind of flopping and groping? I would just basically wait for the 1 hour to make a bear flag and trade the bear flag on the 1 hour. As corny as that sounds, to me, that makes the most sense. There's so much money in the small time frames today. Yes and no. Sometimes there's more chop and more ways to get caught up than there is to make money. Sometimes it's the other way around. I get it. I'll take you anywhere. Just tell me I'll be. You'd say, well, the odds of this is just a continuation dump, right? I mean, yeah, there's the 21 and the 200. In the back of my mind, I'm seeing that 1 hour. Okay, we got the green candle, but what's happening to this next candle, right? I keep the 1 hour above me here. And it's still holding its position. Oops, sorry. Just going to put the instrumental on because, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to hear this. The singing ain't bad, don't get me wrong. It's not the worst. It hypes me up, but it just, you know, it's unneeded, right? We don't need that. Like, so we don't. Bitcoin looking super bearish. Flushing these longs. And they're gonna be like millions and millions of dollars worth of longs. Well, it's been long for months now, a month and a half now, right? And now everyone wants the long, so we've been selling the local tops every time because I've always been like, huh? All right. Like, why does Sam always take profits? Because you never know when it's not gonna go our way. I'll buy spot and I'll swing leverage trade, and I'm mainly a day trading leverage because I've learned my lessons, man. Every time I go for these big home runs for me, you know, and that's why I started with that one monthly trade and I kept it small because I'm gonna find out the right way. I'm weary to open up a trade right now. Next thing you know, we'll get some good news about the Strait of Hormuz, and boom. So, you know, it's like very delicate times. Very delicate times. And let's take a look at let's do a poll here and see what you people are saying. We'll make it even funner. We'll make it more fun. We'll make it funner. We'll make it more engaging. So Bitcoin price, 54 or 104K first? 54K or 104K? Which one's coming first? As we sit here at 79,000 on what looks to me to be a bearish day. Everyone will be like, well, of course it's going to go down, right? I'm feeling bearish. It's 54. Selling may and go away, right? It's already May 13th. Why are we still here? Everyone, you should have sold by now, right? We did get rejected by that daily 200. I mean, technically, I'm supposed to take this short, right? Based off of the analysis. Take profit would be what? 79, 78, 962. It was 926. Stop would be at 79, 915. There, she's already dumping on me. It's only like a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio at this point. feel like I'm chasing. But again, I mean, if this is what we do the other way, right? The 21 above the 200 inside the flag, it looks great this way. It should be great this way too. I was just late to the party. Gotta fine-tune my shorting. We've been in an uptrend for a month straight, so I've been like really just hitting longs. I've hit so many longs that, it's going to take me a second. Once I flip, though, I'll flip at the right time. You have to remember, this is just a small time frame. You want that to struggle, come up first a little bit, make a nice wick, and take the dump. Looks like they definitely want to send it down to 78,000, though. Cool thing about my system is 2 hours from now, we cross that 200, bang, we hit the trade, right? So just got to watch that. You do have to watch it. I have to, that's the one thing about day trading, Lev. For me, got to be around, otherwise I keep it on a bigger time frame and walk away, right? So we got a little bit of a green close there. Let's see, fighting though. It's, to me, rolling over. Definitely lost the trend line of what it looks to me is a bear flag. Am I jumping on in? As I said before, I've seen the massive dumps, and then in the afternoon, I've been able to trade my signal and take a long that day. So we'll see. I've eaten too good, I think. I've been like too, funny while I was traveling, like, now I'm back home and we're dumping, and it's funny. But I'll take it. The last 2 weeks I went to both cities, Las Vegas and Miami, and price action just was good to me the whole time. Could have been way worse, right? I mean, that looks bearish. Just look at that on the 5 minute. Goodbye to the downside. To the downside for sure, for Sheezy. It looks like it's very likely going to dump. Right? I mean, it doesn't look amazing. I'm in these shorts, Rip It. Thank you. You're fine. I hope you win a trade even when I'm counter trading you. I'm not in a trade right now, so it would be hard to, counter trade me if I'm not in the trade. But I mean, it looks bearish. To me, it wants to go down lower. I didn't take the trade though. I'm just kind of sitting. The ability not to trade is an amazing ability. Some days I want to go hard and I just don't, it all depends. The old me would trade all the time no matter what. Right? Of course, it looks bearish. It broke a very long trend line. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's another thing. It broke a trend line, I believe, on the bigger time frame there. Sitting right now just at 79,005, just stuck. But definitely wants to, in my opinion, go lower. Shorting the 5 minute looks very likely to me. That could be the trade of trades. Every time I set it up though, and I'm about to even think about it, I'm late. To me, position is very important because even a little move that's 2-1, it's all right. I like to get a 3-1 trade. And I feel like it may go lower, but 78,555. That's crazy, right? Stop loss at 79,824. I mean, not the best. You know, three for 8. Yeah. Make $800 on the dump. Looks so likely right now that is going down. It is my strategy. It's the 21, the 200. They're far apart, but I mean, you got that dump coming. Looks like it'd be pretty fast and furious too. 5 minute could take 15 minutes and bang. Let's see. I'm late on it. There it goes too. Already gonna. Already getting less on the trade, risking more. That thing is gone, right? It's going to come up a little bit and then dump. It's like, I know it's going to happen. Didn't pull the trigger. But you never know, man, on these sketchy days. Rising and falling, no rate cuts in sight. Eating fish, yeah. What's Bookmap saying? You know, Bookmap has liquidity right below us there at 78.5. It's funny, exactly where my take profit is around. And then it says, hey, it might go back up and eat the 81,000s. But you see what I'm saying? But you never, you know, no guarantees there. So, you know, I want to see us get a bit of a bounce here back above 79,800, right? In order to really believe in any type of move here. So, Bloom was to build their div on the 1 minute, but it's been dumping. Yeah. Yeah, someone says if hesitation. That's what I do. If like I'm not into the trade immediately, then I can't take the trade. Because like I'll second guess it too much and you know. So right now, folks, I'm just abstaining from trading at the moment. And honestly, I'll tell you what I believe, you know, what I'm looking for. Probably continuation at the present moment on the 5. And even the 1 hour looks more bearish. But eventually there's going to be a bounce back or towards the 21. And when that happens, it's going to make a flag. And to me, the stochastics will reset back up. And we'll see with the flag that we make. And if we make a bear flag, that's what we'll trade that bear flag. Just like I trade a bull flag. Same idea. Very same idea, right? So. Someone said silver is ripping. Let's take a look at silver for a split second. You'd think, I mean, they're printing money, Bitcoin would go up, right? I was looking for silver to break out of this little channel. The target for silver was 89. It looks like it hit almost exactly there, which is crazy. And if you look at the 15-minute, I mean, that looks bullish. Looks like it's breaking out for a continuation. And it's headed up to 94. So silver is looking super, super amazing. Look, it got tight here, got back out of the move. And I had this kind of, you know, I had this idea drawn here that silver was getting, you know, had that higher low, the 21 above the 200. And then, I mean, look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour looks like it's just breaking out. Like it's just getting started for a bigger move. So, I'll never vote for, oh my gosh. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, don't try to get too into that stuff, right, at the moment. But everyone has a right to their opinion, right? That is what it is. So. Yeah, price looks like it definitely wants to continue to roll over here on this 5-minute time frame. Target would take you to 78,000, about 500, 78,585. Let the good times roll. Let the good times dump. right? No, I mean, I'm sorry. Someone's like, what is that? Hey, Big Sam, how could you switch from bullish to bearish? I mean, I just see the market for what it is, and I'm open-minded. Because if you get clutchy, meaning you're stuck on that has to be, then the market can hurt you, and I don't want to get hurt by the market anymore. So I diversify. I make sure not all my eggs are in one basket, and I make sure that crypto is just like, an added benefit to my life and not a complete pain, right? There was many, many times in my life where I had everything in crypto and everything mattered. No matter what happened, it was crypto, it had to go. If it went down, I was depressed. You know what I mean? I don't want to live that way. So, dang, nice short there though, for sure. I mean, it's a descending triangle, 21 below the 200. It's kind of ascendant scenario, right? It's almost a confirmed dump at this point. I'm in short term a few hours ago. Profits logged in. Learned this being in the 99. Amazing, man. God bless you, bro. The only people that lose money are the ones that believe in bullish or bearish. Yeah, I just want to take money out of the market. I mean, this was a nice short. And it was my system. I mean, the 21 above the 200 inside the flag. I hesitated, wanted to get in there. Once I didn't get in, I felt like I was chasing. It was hard for me to chase, right? Unless a decent shot from otherwise bearish. Take 4-hour trade, Adam and Eve, double top. To me, that does look like the best scenario. Let me I just want to map that out for a second. I hope you had that drawn yourself and you're not like sticking to everything, so you can kind of get an idea. But all you got to do is just do this, flatten that, take that measured move. That puts you somewhere at about 78.5, 78.480, somewhere in there. I mean, technically you can jump into a short right now. Stop somewhere there and, maybe even let it run all the way down to 75,000. To me, though, the risk to reward is also not amazing. You see? Should have been getting into the short up here somewhere, like right there. Like as we got the right shoulder and the bearishness there. Sounds like it was your live, Baracha. It is, yeah, I know, right? 78,000 would be a bad place to catch a fallen knife. Amazing 4K gel. I mean, I'll be able to see what a good place is. I'll look for the movement. I mean, they're dumping this puppy, man. Just went down to 78,291. Got a 79,291. Got a little bit of a bounce. Some bull div here they're attempting to dig into. But each time we've done that, it's been lackluster. Hasn't brought us much of a move. So, can you look at Dash? Interesting. Dash right now? You want to look at Dash? I mean, I guess why not? But to me, altcoins, we're looking for Bitcoin to get that run up, and I think people get, I've been learning my lesson with these altcoins because every time Bitcoin got a little happy, I would get a little too much, and I learned my lesson. I really did. And now I'm just, I'll trade it here and there. I'll get into a few here and there. And if we're getting a run up, I'll look for a few setups, but I don't want to get too, there are some altcoins that like you can see that are actually doing pretty well right now, right? That are separating themselves from the herd. I mean, I like how Dash, Dash's supportive resistance above the 200 on the 4 hour. Yeah, it could go sideways for 8 to 16 hours here too, and then just eventually make a move up. If anything's going to make a move, a Dash has utility. It's a privacy coin. So Bitcoin back at 79,350, but kind of hovering. It's still got a big red above us at 81,000, suggesting, hey, if we can get a reversal. Remember, it's a very simple way to trade. You slap on the moving averages. You're not getting bullish unless you get above the 200 on the 1 minute. And you can see now we've been in this downtrend, unable to break above. You can even see the trend line here. We've been unable to break above. Even, you know, we go sideways dump, and that's going to be the trend until we get a reversal pattern here on the smaller time frame. It's got to make an inverted head and shoulder. You know, we got to get something that sticks, a double bottom, Adam and Eve. Like, we got to get something that can change the story. Otherwise, you're just going to continue to consolidate and continue to dump. You know, which are continuation, like, you know, look, shoulder, head, right shoulder, continuing to the downside. Nothing's going to change that. And if anything, I see is just, you know, flooding the gates here further down, liquidating more longs. Unless Bitcoin, you know, I'm not telling you what's going to happen. I'm just showing you how to read the charts. I hope we make that clear. A lot of days I can nail it because what I'm reading happens exactly like it's supposed to. It makes me look smart, but remember, I'm just a simple analyst. I'm not amazing. You know, you're amazing for coming here every day and supporting me. God's amazing for making this channel what it is. I'd have nothing without each and every one of you and God, so I know that the second I put anything above my family, above God, I've made a mistake. So shout out to anyone that supports the channel, anyone that supports me. I greatly appreciate it. It means the world to me. Yeah, but that's, I mean, send that down, right? Further down. The system says when you're below the 200 on the 21, you're going to dump. It says when you're above it, you're going to pump. We traded that bullish. We traded bearish. I just didn't get in at the perfect time. I did not chase it. And now you can see the 4-hour really, like if it closes below this level, it's taken that low out. And now you're just like, why wouldn't you come to the 200 moving average? Yeah, let's see, for it to be a profitable trade now, I guess I could almost get right to that 200. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst with the stop loss. I guess I could jump on the horn right now, but like, is that, you know, then it flips green and I see my signal and I can't get the reversal. It is taking out the low in these wicks though right here, which is like, dang, the May 8th low. And you can see, I mean, that's the 4 hours pressing and the 5 minutes going to take it. So you can see when the 4 hours bearish, you zoom into the 5 to find the way in. Everyone's like, well, how do you trade? Well, there's a way to do it. Like, you use the small time frames to enter. You use the big time frames to see what's happening. Once you see confirmation of bearishness, you know, it's like a door. You can see the door, you find the key, you know, the where to put in the key. You got to find the key now. And to me, it's like finding the door is finding the 4 hour and the 1 hour, but finding the way in is the 5 minute time frame. Using the smaller time frames to break your way inside, that's the key. All right, I've been short since 110, cashed out at 70, went long at 60, cashed out, now short again. Bull bears nonsense, trade money. That's crazy, man. I took the short while you were live, up 4% on the 20X. Come join the gain, Sammy, my man. Thank you to Gravo for your generosity. Interesting. Always ready to drop or shoot. Right. Interesting. I sold 121K buying at 55 in late June. Okay. People will get burnt on alts yet again. It's possible. Yeah, I'm very, I only hold a few and I'm very wary. I definitely just kind of sit it out. I'm only going to swing trade them. Hey, there's money to be made. Some people have made good money in alts though. If you've been in and out and, you know, so some bull div is it going to hold? We finally got some oversold stochastics, you know, or is this short going to just continue to dump? The way the 4 hours looking, it looks like we're going to get, you know, a lot of sell pressure here. It's going to flush out the late longs. Just got liquidated. There you go. Yeah. And again, you should always use a stop loss. You should never get liquidated. Should see what you have and then always put a stop loss above a liquidation level. Unless you're like, okay, I'm going 1,500 margin, the liquidation is like right above it at like 1350, you know, whatever. If they're so close that it's negligible, I get it. But other than that, it's just inexcusable to get liquidated. I think people think it's funny, but it's not, you know. And it's fine, it happens, I get it, but people don't want to lose money, so they won't, you know, use a stop loss. Instead, they get liquidated and they lose even more money than if they just took 7 trades and actually had a proper way to trade. See, most people get liquidated because they're learning a system is the scariest thing in the world. You know, that's way harder than just throwing money at the market. Oh, actually back testing and having to stay disciplined and, you know, doing the same thing every day. Oh, no one wants to do that. That doesn't sound fun. Oh, throwing money at the market like roulette or something, like, and acting like it's just whatever. You know what I mean? It's just like, no, that's not the way. There has to be a strategy and a discipline. And I must say the word like 100 times during the stream, but there's got to be a strategy and a discipline. Otherwise, it's going to become a bunch of uncalculated data of why you actually won too. Like, oh, well, I just threw money here and there and I went hard at this. And if you're wrong 5 times or 6 times and it buries you to the point where you're mentally unable to move, then you're over trading too. Like, you got to find out where your threshold for risk is. I know where mine is, you know, what I'm willing to lose. So do I, you know, jump into the late short, just jump in right there and let it go down and at least take that move down? I mean, to me, it doesn't look like we're biting on any divergence either. It looks to me like we're rolling over. Finding a system is hard. Following it isn't, or at least shouldn't be hard. Yeah, it takes a long time to get into the system, but once you have it for life. And that's what you have to look at it. Everyone, you know, they're afraid to make it happen, but tell yourself, once you have it forever. You know what I mean? You're not going to lose it. Damn, I had that nice entry right there, right before it started to go down. It's all right. It is what it is. I could be flashing my short with my big ego. Look at me and my wins. You know, sometimes it's kind of cool for me to sit back and you know, just let the trade play out. You never know. It might bounce in our face, you know, the way today is. You never know. My trader instinct's telling me just let it do its thing. Eventually that 1 hour is going to have to come and show some type of balance. The hardest thing to do as a trader is building your trading bags. Yeah. Finding a system. Yeah, I believe that. Sam really doesn't like to short, eh? I will eventually. We've been in an uptrend for a month straight, so I've been more accustomed to taking longs. That's all. I will once I see the trend really change on me, and then I'll flip, but it takes me a second. I do like to short. I just wanted to get in at the perfect time. Just like if I was in a long and I saw it pump, it would be hard for me to chase the breakout. That's all. I just took a little too long to like gear up and find my 5-minute descending triangle. I found this just at the nick of time. Had I found it right there and then, you know, would have been a different story. I just like, it's not that I don't like to short. I like to get into my trades a little too perfectly, I guess you could say. And because I knew I was going to miss, you know, the exact entry that was the most probable, I didn't want to chase. Which is tough for me, but I have to be honest, that's just the facts. Yeah, it does. Yeah, believe and be yeah, you have to just believe and be emotionless. That's you know, for a lot of, almost everybody's system is that way when it comes to trading. I love that. Yeah, I just think it's funny. He says how a small dip makes people think it's going to zero. It might. It also could go to 100K in a week. Emotional trading is a hell of a drug. Oh, yeah, 100%. Been making money by shorting each top, and today I got brave and went long after the first sum up. Then now went all in the reds over to cover 94. I mean, definitely sounds like a roller coaster ride that I don't want to partake in, you know. So what goes up must come down. What goes down must come up. We pumped for days on end. You know, we're gonna have to pay the piper at some point. And I was even drawing out the daily to pull back for the next 2 days. I just wanted to see it hold some key levels. Right now, it's getting more into bearish tones. You know. Yeah. I mean, I see the shorts really was a perfect place to take the short. You know, even the system says right there and right there. The 21. On the 21s, like, is, you know, right there with the 21 boom, you know. You can see the trend forming now. It's an uptrend if you flip it upside down, right? So it's you know, and that's in your favor then. Thank you for being here every day. Shout out to John James Power. God bless you, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's not easy. And some days, you know, you're gonna hit it. Some days you're not. If you do something every single day, some days it's gonna be amazing. Some you might even have a slump, a week where you slump. You're not perfect. The key is, do you fight through that week? Do you come, you know, does a year go by and you say, hey, man, I made it through the year, right? And so that's what happens to me in my streams and what we go through every day here. Shout out to everyone here. We have dang near 1,200 beautiful souls on the live. We get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. It would be the nicest thing you could do. All right. Yeah, you know, eventually, I mean, there is this, eventually you feel like there's going to have to be this some type of bounce. Small or big. 21's up there. Like, you know, maybe you go for another bear flag now. Maybe it just continues to dump. I'm not saying, you know, I'm just, you know, I just like to project. Keep my mind limber. But, you know, the greatest thing about my system is like, okay, look at, you know, the 30-second has to break above the 200 moving. The 5-second has to break above the 200. Just got rejected. You know, then the 1 minute, and then you can begin to even talk about, okay, we've bottomed. At that point, you're making tweezer bottoms on the 1 hour. Right? So you even see here, like, if you're somewhat bullish, like, this whole thing has to turn into an inverted. Otherwise, like, it just looks like it's going to roll over to me. Doesn't look bullish by any means, right? Once you replace negative thoughts with positive ones, you'll start having positive results. You know, I'm going to say something that's going to be earth-shattering. I remember when someone first told me this, and, you know, I was in such a negative place, I didn't believe it. Isn't that funny? That's how bad negativity can be. But I repeated it over and over again, and I used it, and I clutched it close to me, and it's going to sound horrible. You know what I mean? When your mind is really against you, and you're in a negative place, you need everything you can to get through. And it really feels like life is just, you know, it's messed up when you're in a weird place in your brain. And what I'm going to tell you right now was life-changing for me. I hope it's life-changing for you. So, Sam, does the monthly need to wick on the downside then pump? No. I mean, especially from where it is already. Yeah. We are forming an Adam and Eve on the 1 hour time frame. The other way, we'll see. You know. But the one thing that changed my whole life in my thought process was, you know, one positive thought is more powerful than 1,000 negative thoughts. Because I used to have so many negative thoughts and I just couldn't get my mind right. And I was like, all right, I just need to have one positive thought today. Love you, Sam. God bless you and your family. You teach me so much every single day. I have no words for what you do. Thank you so much for changing lives in a way you can't imagine. Thank you, man. And people have told me that, and I believe that it's true, but it's hard to see it on the other side. But I see there's many testimonials. Many people have come up to me and said thank you. And it's just very, very nice. So God bless you and thank you. May your family prosper and may you live a wonderful life. May anyone that supports and loves me, may everyone in general have a wonderful life, but specifically the people that love and support me, may you have extra blessings from me, from my family to yours. Thank you so, so much. All right. Even though trades, you're still winning because we're learning, and that's the most important thing. Love you, Sammy. Thank you for all the knowledge. God bless you, Brian Jansen. That's such a like an amazingly high frequency thing to say. It started here, my sick body verse. God bless all lifers to you, kind sir. God bless you, man. Shorted last night at my third shift job. It paid off. Thank you, Sammy. God bless you, man. The daily flip to SAR. Usually when it flips on the bigger time frames, we're headed to the base. of where it started when it flipped bullish. Yeah. The support and resistance got flipped, he said. See, yeah, an SNR. Support and resistance. See, the SNR flipped. And honestly, that 5 minute is just pressing. The 4 hour wants to dump. More dump. More dump. What that guy said. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you, man. Gratitude is riches. Complaint is poverty. 100%. Thank you. Today's going to be a great day. We're going to record a bunch of great things. God's going to help me stay disciplined and focused. And throughout the day, it's going to be amazing. So I'm excited. You should be excited. It's a good time, baby. It's a good time. I'm a product of my mindset. 100%. Say it over and over again. 5 minutes stays bearish. Nothing to see here, folks, but more dump side possibly here for Bitcoin. I see us headed down to at least to 78,008, 78.7. That's where we might convene and stop the pain there for a little bit. But until then, we're just we're battling. We haven't made any reversal patterns yet that would tell me that we're not gonna continue to go lower. Possibly another bear flag. So I see another bear flag or dump. Unless I don't know where we just, oh my God, the straight home is boom, oh boom, we're back up and you never, I mean, you never know, but right now, Bitcoin's in its own lane. And as we showed you, the NQ doing damage. Like you look at the NQ on the 15 minute, it's been pumping. Nice reversal off the bottom. Getting tight. I look for this to kind of go up and down, get tight, and then continue. Like nothing wrong with the S&P and the NASDAQ. They are in continuation mode for possibly continuation to pump. So decoupled from Bitcoin at the present moment in time. Gold and silver. So and this could just be a rotation from Bitcoin into some altcoins too. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance or Tether dominance first, right? Wow, Tether dominance had a nice jump. But still to me isn't amazing. It's still in like a descending triangle over time. But it definitely today, people definitely got liquidated and jumped into Tether. And so you can see like Bitcoin dominance with the shoulder, head, and right shoulder looking like it could fall. And then that money flowing into Tether, though. We don't see that. We want to see both Tether and Bitcoin dominance fall. So you can see more money flow into the altcoins. So some altcoins are okay, but even ETH Bitcoin has been struggling, which is crazy, right? Like you're not getting that play on, look at that. I mean, wow, we were in a bear flag, said it was going to dump. It's possible double bottom now, though. Well, you could say like enough is enough. Right at that key level. But to me, it almost looks, you can make it invert. I don't know. It looks bearish. Yeah, I'd say like more downside there. Bitcoin dumps, so does ETH, and then ETH Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin, ETH dumps worse than Bitcoin, so. Yeah, I mean, price action is bearish. Up, there we go. A little bit of love there. So, this is how it can possibly start. This is why when you're open-minded, you can be like, well, anything could happen, right? Maybe it reverses now. But if it likely makes another bear flag, gets touched by the 21, we continue lower. Nice little move there for Bitcoin. The move was from 79.6 to 79.2, though. Wasn't amazing. You know what I mean? $400 move. If I jumped into the late short, I think it's smart that I just didn't, It was slim pickings. I didn't see an amazing opportunity just yet, right? I learned so much about trading view from your stream. Thank you. God bless you, man. Thank you. Shout out to anyone that said something nice to me today. I really appreciate that. That's very awesome. A lot of kind words were given today during the stream. I think that's kind of what it's all about. So may God bless everyone that was super awesome and attentive. I appreciate that, and I thank you so much for your awesome viewership and your kind words. Bitcoin, baby. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Can we reverse? Looking for the 1 minute to break that 200 moving average. Oh, so far away now. Like it just may not happen. So what I'm looking for is the 1 hour, honestly, to make a bear flag. Let me go to somewhere else here because I'm too intent on what I got cooking there. So look, we lost the 200 moving average on the 1 hour. That's bearish. We double top there, kind of got a lower high, and we rolled over. Not amazing. You know, we were looking for this, and me personally was looking for this to kind of make sense. You know, it wasn't hot. It wasn't like amazing, but I was looking for it to bounce, consolidate. And right there, I was just looking to go up a little more, hit this, come down. I was looking for nothing but just sideways price action till Thursday. And, you know, we kind of lost the sauce. We really did, and this looks bearish to me now. Maybe a little more of a dip, but eventually this is going to come back to the 21. So what I'm looking for is this play here, right? And then it's sad to say, but that might be a beautiful, beautiful swing trade right there. So looking for the 21 connection there on that. And dang, man, we broke that low. We broke that low, the 80,000. I mean, that's... You know, that's a bounce there. You just come out and clean that. Now that's going to be resistance, right? So once something is support, great. Once you lose that, and then, you know, if you come back to it or retest it, and so you blew out both these levels here, or you're attempting to about to take out these lows here now at 79. And there it is, continuing to dump BTC on that 5 minute time frame, right? You see the 4 hours letting go, the 5 minutes saying no, right? Where'd I have that drawn nicely? I think it was on here, right? That thing wants to continue to dump. I mean, the measured move. A little extended to the area. I mean, it says 79.7, 79.8. So for that short is paying off. No need to even like try to flag out the 1 minute. 4 hour looks bearish. I mean, I see an Adam and Eve double top there. Never a fan when Bitcoin dumps, but it is what it is. You got to go through the ups if you want the downs. You got to go through the downs if you want the ups. That's life, folks. It's never going to be a perfect day out here in trade land. Key is not to get liquidated for massive amounts of money. No trade is better than losing tons of money, right? So and it's also about timing your trades correctly, like getting in at the right time. Like, I know I didn't get in the right time. Chasing it isn't a great idea either, right? So I want to get in when I really plan on getting in. When I've thought about it, when I'm like, this is where I'm looking. And if I haven't done the due diligence and I just want to ape in, then it's usually not the best idea. You can win. It's okay. Like, but I don't want to, you know, I'd rather trade in a more reserved manner than that. 4 years later, turning into your channel, I've learned a lot. Thank you so much for saying that. It's very nice of you. Yeah. Donde andambas Vegas? I don't know. Thank you, though. Bitcoin made a 7-day low at 79. Sam, I've learned a lot from you and analyzed the chart. Big respect. Thank you. Wow, so many nice people here today, man. Claw back in the chart in the back of the... You're funny. Claw back in the chart in the back of the yak. My man. Clickety clack in the back of the yak, the automatic, the smack cabbage, the smacky cabbage back out the cabbage patch. Hey, consistency, baby. They keep the change over. Hey, I need you to know, you have changed the way I look at the charts. I looked at the charts I trade and how I live. You truly made me a better man, and there are no words, man. God bless you, Dirty Skirts. Thank you so much for jumping on in. We appreciate that. May God bless you. And that's Dirty Skirts on the truck, right? Yeah. I mean, it's a guy gets it in. He does a good day's, an honest day's living, an honest day's pay. Gets it in though. All right, that's what I get from that idea, right? So. Send it lower. It wants to go lower. Sad to say here. The charts were speaking to us at the descending triangle on that 5-minute time frame. Target is at 79.8 all the way down to, or 78.8 to 78,700. All right. Chevy showing his patience today and what it is to be reserved. That's a big part of trading. I wanted to ape in so many times onto this short. I'm kind of tight. I'm not in it. The more it dumps, the more I'm like, dang, man, look at that. Like, but then I also tell myself I'm usually exactly what it was in. So I'd be in at what, 79.7. I'd be up $500 right now. And was that going to change my life? But it would have been nice. Yeah. The key is every little win stacks up over time. That's the key. God's love is all around us. Thank you for saying that. God bless you. Shout out to ZTKRC. Yeah. Send it, baby. Send it. It continues lower for my lifers. Anyone that got in had the time to see it and saw, the system did tell us to short the market. So it's not like the way I trade told us any different. It said, hey, 200 moving average below, 21 touching in consolidation, take the short. It was here when I was about to get in. I'd still be in the money technically, but I hesitated. Or just, I didn't get in perfectly, so I didn't take the trade. And I can even say, did I hesitate or I didn't take the trade because it wasn't perfect? Could have been a better entry, and I decided not to take it. Right? I like what we're seeing here. Let's take a look at what's popping today. Anything defying Bitcoin regularly kind of in the bigger markets. Last 24 hours, let's see what's hot. Injective getting an 18% pump there back to 5. So people are liking their DeFi again, which Atom, if Injective goes up, Atom is the ecosystem, and Injective is the ecosystem of Atom. TIA as well, Celestia. I can't, this stuff, oh man. Just what happened to a lot of this stuff. Dexy back to 12.95, I like it. Aerodrone holding 47, it's all right. So nothing amazing. Tron's been on its own little uptrend. The last hour, the Venice token still holding nicely. This pullback could be nice for it because it got a really big move. Whatever pumped nicely, you'd look for Bitcoin to pull back and bring that coin into a more realistic idea. Like Venice went from 9 to 16, 17. Maybe I can get in at 12 or 11. You know what I mean? Instead of chasing. And maybe that Bitcoin pullback gives us the, so. So nothing too crazy on the bigger picture, right? Still seeing more of a move down with Bitcoin this morning in general, but we'll see. And, flush it. Once we lose 79,000, Bitcoin goes lower. Lower. We get to that $78,600 level. And it just all, it's like Hikanashi, man. It's all down. So I was able to figure out the direction we're going. I was, normally I could tell you where we're going to bottom. I could see there was no bottoming pattern. Nothing told us we were bottoming. It said we were going lower. It said we were in a descending triangle. I flipped it upside down and it looked just like I trade bullish when we were above the 200, touching the 21 in consolidation. I drew a trend line, which gave us the measured move and I slapped it on and it said, hey, we're going to at least 78,850. And so far it's been spot on, right? So he's saying, can you take a look at USDT dominance? I just did. It's spiking hard. And it's actually getting a lot of liquidity right now to the upside. So, yeah. Thank you for asking. How's your foot? My foot is way better, but I do need to keep it elevated most of the day, and I need to keep some ice on it. And so it has been, when I wake up in the morning, I have it elevated and it, kind of a little throbby. I know once I get out of bed, it's going to be throb. So that's why it's, I'm not in the office in the morning as early as I've been recently, but I will be back. I heard someone mention, and I'll be back for you there. I'm flattered that you need it. And so that just tells me to get it in. So I got you. I hear you, man. So just, struggling with injury isn't easy. I'll be honest. It kind of takes a toll on the mind, take a toll on the body. No excuses. We've been doing amazing. I never want to make excuses for anything. I've been super excited. Everything's been going amazing. So God has provided and will continue to provide. I know that for sure. So, and Bookmap suggests there's still this liquidity above us there, a lot of it. We got a ball on both sides though, right? And I mean, you can still get, 78 and it can appear too once it's there, so I never go 100% that way. And there you have it. The short just continues to cook to the downside. Would have loved to have been in it to prove it, but yeah, I agree with the fast for accelerating the healing 100%. I think you're spot on with that idea. It's been hard to do that though. The food's been so good. Those blueberry pancakes yesterday were just 30 years working with herbs. And the 4 candles, it's a gash in an open wound. Oh yeah. I mean, you can see the 5 minute and the 4 hour working together. I mean, that is just oof. And again, kind of like shoulder, head, right shoulder, even though it's not perfect, it's slanted. Has some descending vibes to it. It's funny, man, the descending triangle strikes again. It's so vicious. It says you're going to go right in at least to the point of control. You're going to, you're coming to that 200 moving average on the 4 hour time frame. You may not break it. It may hold, right? This is going to be a pretty key area here to find out what's happening. And then on the daily, I mean, it's good to zoom out and just feel like the trend line, is breaking, right? I mean, you're breaking that trend line. Say, oh, we made a new one. We're doing this now. It's so amazing if they bounce this, get it up tight, and then they're just creating. They do need to induce a lot of short price action to get another nice squeeze. So it's not like we're going to continue up without squeezing. I mean, this could be, we're right here. So we're testing. If Bitcoin closes below this candle close, which is 78,657, then yeah, it's pretty bearish. Let's see. It looks like we're kind of steamrolling our way down now. Could be a massive bear. What if it just bear all the way down? I mean, pretty deep candle already. Assuming we would get a little more of a move, we'd be kind of right on it. Five minute continuing to bleed down here as we lose, about to lose 79,000. There we go. There it goes. And psychological, once you see that 78, a lot of people freak out. They'll, remember, they're all in that stop loss freaking out. They're about to flip their stop losses. And it's kind of nice to not be in a trade and just know that there's people acting so crazily emotional right now. And you just get to sit here and watch price action. Was good money to be made right there, though, for sure. Even if I would have aped in at the breakout. If I just bought the breakout, I would have made money today. So support at 78,630. Oh, yikes. Hope, man. We'll see. And here we are at 78,000 now, breaking 79. You can see all was kind of written by the charts telling us that was going to happen with high probability. If you just back tested these charts for years, the charts told you what they were going to do. If we lost 78.8, yeah, I will say that the lifer keeps it real. He's not here talking about 150 or 250. You're doing it right, in and out. Thank you, man. God bless you. Hey, we got to be realistic. A lot of people are telling you we're going all the way up and all this. I don't know, I want people to remember me and see me when they see me in real life. Be like, oh, that guy told it to me straight. Wow, look at the dumpage. Absolute. That's a massive 5 minute candle for the cherry on top at the end of this. Send it to the target. Descending triangles don't lie, folks. You say gold looks decent for a long on the 5 minute. Some are speculating, some are eating from the price collapse. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the data was horrible. It was bearish. So it's interesting, though. You take a look at the S&P. Is it still holding? Or yeah, it's still holding nicely. Like, yeah, a little bit of pullback now, and there it's but as long as it stays inside this bigger channel. Bitcoin absolutely dumping exactly as it suggested it would, though, for the last 50 minutes straight. Hey, at least we were able to catch it at the right time. A little late, but at the right time. Anyone actually get into the short because they saw it on the channel, or just they learned from, not like it's like, but they learned the education from me and they were able to nail it? I hope you were able to hit it. I greatly appreciate it if you did. All right. And again, maybe you just saw, from just something, or you just saw it on your own. All right. Nice snatch down there to the downside for Bitcoin. I did. God bless you. God bless you, man. Just went long, somebody said. PPI worse than the war. I know, right? PPI is worse than the Strait of Hormuz over here, right? I'll be honest, the 4-hour candle looks so nasty. This thing might just continue to collapse here. Lower and lower and lower. Finally, they're attempting to bounce it here with no real wick, though. A tiny wick on the 4-hour. What if they reverse this puppy all the way back up now? Just be crazy, right? The 1-hour attempting a tweezer bottom now again. Very oversold. Now they're bouncing this puppy fast. You try to catch a broken, you try to catch a falling knife right here. A broken knife. A falling knife. Do you catch a broken knife? Obviously has no idea what he's saying. I mean, you front run this now. I mean, I feel like you're asking for stop hunts. It's a low risk reward ratio. That's why I like these areas, though, for contention. You know what I mean? Because it's like, hey, like, again, you do whatever makes you happy. And I'm not saying I'm going to do it for sure, but I like tweezer bottoms. I like putting the stop below the wick. And I like 10 to 1s. You know what I mean? Like, there's a 10 to 1 there, 8 to 1. If we catch this reversal, bang, right? And super, super patient. Like, you wait, it's not something that's going to come immediately, too, right? Asking for oh, wow. I thought you said asking for sparkling water. Yeah, I don't know. You down with PP? Yeah, you know me. You down with CP? Yeah. Just short of the top of that. Wow. Interesting. Of the wick there? Okay. Very oversold now on the 1-hour time frame. No real bull div, though, on the bigger time frames either. Nothing too crazy on the 15-minute. Attempting a bounce, but just not looking amazing. I want to go back to where we had that 5-minute chart up and ready. There it is. So now I look at this just, by itself. Again, you want to see, well, what's happening? Well, we broke a big trend line. We lost the 200. As I've said before, like, as much as, this could continue to dump a little more. I feel like it might spike and just dump a little more. But eventually, we're going to get some type of reversal. Some type of either bear flag or a heavy bounce back up. You have two choices to long when this candle turns green, right? I mean, really, it's right, or wait for it to bear flag, right? There's really no that's like the first thing I got to look at, though. You know, that's a huge dump. It's likely that that's going to be, I mean, that's basically a straight line dump. And, you know, nothing goes straight up forever. Nothing goes straight down forever. If that happened, I would be out of that long so fast because you're just too far from that 21-day moving average. So it's in your favor to definitely attempt a reversal here. So far, that's what we're getting. 5 minutes been amazing, too, to kind of track price today. So you're either getting the most insane reversal pattern ever, and you're going to get back inside the mix. Everyone's going to say, I told you so. By the end of day, we're going to be okay. All right. I definitely had time to take profits if I was swing trading or day trading that short, but people will do what they must. And kind of just like, you know, also depict the idea that we could be in a bear flag that continues further to the downside. I'm taking along on the 1 hour time now. Really, he's gonna, you know, at 12 o'clock. Oh, it's 12 o'clock of the dot. So we just got a 1 hour candle close. I don't know why it hasn't registered just yet. This is an hour of 10 minutes slow or something. That's weird. Wow, so my clock is 5 minutes fast than like the average time. I'm saying 12:05. My phone is saying 12:05. It's weird. I'm like 5 minutes ahead. Everywhere else is saying 5 minutes. I never realized this. That my clocks are not set to the exact time. So I mean, it's a possible front run on the 1 hour time, but I mean, it's very risky. I don't know if I'd get all the way to 80,770. 78,725. We'd be going for the long. Sorry there. No shorts. Just the long. 78,725. Yeah, 180 for $2,500. I mean, it's kind of like, why not, right? You hit this, it's like, but it's also too good to be true. Like 10 of those get you drained for $2,500. You got to pick your battles. Closes green. We have, you know, what happened here. It didn't give us nothing, and no burger. I'm not a burger. And honestly, I would wait for it to close green at least, because look, it might even flip red right now. Look at that. We're not even going to close green, which would tell me not to take the long. So, moon soon, trust me, bro. I'll front run it for fun, man, but it just, you know what I mean? Was it 160? Very low risk, very low fee. 16, that's great. Likely going to stop me right out, though, so be careful. But you can see I'm taking discount trades, like, you know, low risk to reward trades. Look at that. It's a bearish pin bar. It looks so bearish right now. Nice buy. Buy the red, though, right? You got to buy red. Or just beginning green. Oh, my gosh. Look at that thing go, baby. Go, baby, go. Nah, man. Oh, my gosh. I'm the greatest trader ever in the history. You know, someone that, like, barely trade, you know, doesn't trade the whole time. Takes a bit, and then next thing you're, oh, look at, I'm the greatest. I called it. So, I'm the best ever. There's nobody better than me over here. Clarity Act will help Bitcoin tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't want to put all my eggs in one Clarity Act. No, but seriously, like, we'll see what happens with the Clarity Act. It looks good to me. So we just entered a live trade here on Bitcoin. See if we can bounce this puppy back to the upside after a massively bearish stream. We did call a bear move down on the 5-minute bear flag. Descending triangle. We were able to catch that move to the downside. And now we're seeing if just by the hair of our chinny chin chins. Can we somehow win this trade? I don't know, though. It looks bearish. Oof. Already in jeopardy here. And 162 for 2,000. So it's a very, you know what I mean? It's like a, but still, you know what I mean? Every dollar counts. Every trade matters. Second you start getting willy-nilly with any trade, that's when it, oh, look at this. Oof. Tempted to see if we can hold this low here. Turn this into a green candle. Oh, yeah, the candle had closed on time. It was 15 minutes left. This was the new candle. I'm so, you know what I mean? I'm like so off. Oh, my gosh, they're going to get me so quickly. Yikes. That's crazy if I stay in this trade. They're likely going to snipe me. Oh, my God, don't snipe me. Be good to me. I've been so good to you. No, no. You ever cry to the candle? Don't do it to me. I've been so good to you this whole time. I'm in with you, Sammy. I took profits on my short, so let's do the insane trade. I don't know, man. It's tough. Nope. No. No. Stay away. Ah, the screen turned blue and everything, and they got me. Don't trade like me. It's bearish, man. It looks bearish today. More dumpage. More dumpage. You know, stick to the 5-minute time frame. Descending triangle, it hits the target, and then it's going to, you know, maybe do another one of these. Just continue bearish, and then, you know, that 4 hour continues to push down on us to the downside here, folks. No good for the bulls. Good for the traders if you're getting some liquidity out of here and some good volatility. Eventually, that 1 hour is going to moon back. Telling you, it's going to moon. It's going to flip. I'd watch your 5-minute and your 1 hour time frame, see where they kind of go. See what happens here as we get tighter on the right side. Expecting some faster downs before up. I wondered the day. Yeah. The economy outlook. I still pray for eternal prosperity for you and your family. Sam, Jesus is the doorway to heaven. God bless you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to Wang Chung. You got to stay positive, man. Even if things look bleak and you kind of see the math in front of you, you got to stay positive. There's no other way, right? So. And these markets will get to you. You got to fight through them. There it is. Now we go again. And again. And again. Eventually we win. And eventually we take all the money. Come on now. Show me the money now. Basically attempting to buy the bottom of the candle. This is the bottom. He says it's a faked up. Tomorrow into the weekend will be parabolic. Amazing. He claims a parabolic weekend pump. I mean, altcoins look really interesting. Suggesting something big is coming our way, but you never know. But I will be honest, altcoins do look interesting to me. But as I've said, and as you've said, you never know. If you want to trade where I've been trading, you can trade live on Weeks here. Link in the description of the pinned comment there. And in the description and in the pinned comment, or BTCC or Pionex. All right. If you want to trade live on BTCC, we're doing awesome something with ROLEX. Well, not with ROLEX, but we're giving through ROLEX. So that's, I don't want to misspeak there. But yeah, jump on in, sign up and deposit, trade and win. All right. It'll be awesome. And that's with BTCC and Lifer. Hit the code Lifer333 to jump on in. NASDAQ and S&P look unbelievably ready for more. Can Bitcoin get the bounce that we're looking for here and shave off these bulls? I mean, these bears, and get a bounce back with the bulls. So we dump most of the stream. We find a bear flag on the 5-minute time frame. I was late to get in. I didn't chase. I wanted to many times. I could just see myself getting in and watching it reverse in my face every time. And I was like, I don't want to see that happen. So I maintained myself out of the trades. I just sat out. And now, that reversal is always calling my name there, as I tend to be more bullish than bearish over time, for sure. Know your bias. So important to know your bias. That way you can know exactly how you will and will not trade based off the market. More than you don't, right? And we're very oversold in the 1 hour time frame. I wouldn't be surprised if we do get this bounce. Look for this candle to close green. If it does, possibly take a long back to the upside. Simple way to trade. So, and everyone, I love you. And speak after me right now. Abundance. Say abundance. Abundance. See? So watch it. Ready? I say abundance. You say abundance. Abundance is coming my way. Multiple streams of income are always open to me. I love money and money loves me. There's no problems with my relationship with money. It's actually wonderful. I may have had issues with the past, but now today me and money are squared up, ready to go. I see no debt in my future, only abundance. I see the ability to pay my way for anything needed and to help others. And I know that more is coming to me every single day because I create opportunity. I'm going to continue to work hard, stay disciplined, and stay focused. Amen. God helps those who help themselves. Always have a plan of how you're going to make it. And, you got to believe in yourself. All right? God rest my soul. God rest the soul of my mom and dad. Not right. God rest my mom and dad. I miss them and God bless them both. And shout out to everyone here on the stream. Thank you for being here and being awesome. What an amazing stream. Still with 1,100 people here on the stream. That's amazing at the end of the stream. So multiple streams of income are coming your way always and every way. Always in every way. It's just there's no other way. You can, you will, you are the best. You've got this. You're going to rip it. So I love you all. I appreciate everyone for coming on into the stream. I still don't know how we do it every single day, but we do. We push forward, we have a good time, and we stay focused and amazing. So I'm excited. We may, this 1 hour, man, get the bounce, baby. Not one of these fake ones. Let's get a real, this fake one came when we were halfway through the stochastic. So we're super oversold now on the RSI and the stochastics RSI. Something to think about. All right. Everyone, I love you. I appreciate you. I'll be in the trading group throughout the day. We'll be ripping it. It is Wacky Wednesday. I can't wait. And we'll see what happens. Right now, you have to assume we're going lower unless we can see some type of reversal pattern here on the 1 hour time frame. So not just the 1 hour, but that's the one time frame I would be looking at. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. I love you all. Thank you. I will see you all mañana. And I'll have a beautiful live stream. Thank you for being here. Look at this beautiful office we made. Really like it. You should come on through one day and hang out. You'll like it. What is this? This is my cane. That's weird, right? You think it's part of this is my cane. I walk with a cane now. No. But seriously, sometimes I have to use it towards the end of the day when my foot is just a little weak. I'm going to be back, everyone. Don't worry. I'll be all right. I'll make it. God bless you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. The secret to success is getting started. You're not going to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. You got to start. Every single person that ever did anything amazing with their life, they started somewhere. Great baseball players swung a bat at one point. Tom Brady threw a ball. Everybody started somewhere.